Hello everyone, back again with Tomi Vasius. For this video, I'll be making a guide for the new character, Kamui Aeternion. It includes combat practice, rotation, and more. Let's get started. Let's start with combat practice. As you can see, for the energy core, Kamui can switch his energy core to greatsword form by tapping the yellow orb. If you want to switch back, just tap the yellow orb again. While wielding the charge form greatsword, tap blue orb to cast Solar Overflow. Tap blue orb again to cast Solar Cinders. Tap yellow orb to cast Flare Burst. Switches the greatsword's form, triggering Sunfire to increase fire damage and plasma beam damage. When wielding the discharge form greatsword, consecutively ping red orbs to trigger a red orb combo, casting Searing Leap, Blazing Rise, and Corona Slash in sequence. When wielding the discharge form greatsword, press and hold dodge to cast Crown Arc. At 90 output, consumes all output and gains signature energy. While wielding the discharge form greatsword at 90 flare points or above, press and hold basic attack to cast Ignited Radiance and gain signature energy. Tap signature to cast Molten Heart and trigger Time Lag Calculation. If the greatsword is in discharge form, it switches to charge form. That was the first tutorial on Kamui's combat, and now we'll try the second tutorial. When the greatsword is in charge form, press and hold yellow orb to cast Solar Poise. Switches the greatsword's form, converting blue orbs into red orbs and automatically pinging them. When wielding the discharge form greatsword, press and hold dodge to cast Crown Arc. At 90 output, consumes all output and gains signature energy. While wielding the discharge form greatsword at 90 flare points or above, press and hold basic attack to cast Ignited Radiance and gain signature energy. And then, tap signature to cast Molten Heart and trigger Time Lag Calculation. If the greatsword is in discharge form, it switches to charge form. Usually, if you're using Kadi, it's easier to activate ultimate. However, if you're using Shakespeare, you'll usually need to use an additional orb, and deadline timing is also required. Now for the Plasma Beam tutorial, let's get started. Tap yellow orb to cast Flare Burst. Switches the greatsword from charge form to discharge form, converting blue orbs into red orbs. When wielding the discharge form greatsword, consecutively ping red orbs to trigger a red orb combo, casting Searing Leap, Blazing Rise, and Corona Slash in sequence. Tap the yellow orb while wielding the discharge form greatsword, with at least 30 thermo points to cast Firelit Thunder and deal plasma beam damage. And once the plasma beam energy is full, hold the yellow orb to activate the plasma beam effect. Now, the rotation tutorial if Kamui SS0. Starting from Vera. Use 3 blue, then switch to Kamui. Kamui uses 3 times ultimate, also need to know. If Kamui uses 2 Kadi, it will be easier to activate ultimate. And you can use the first tutorial that I explained previously. Whereas if you use Shakespeare, you need to use the second tutorial that I explained previously. And for rank SS0 Kamui, if using Shakespeare, need to use deadline timing. After that, switch to Lucia, use one-time ultimate only. And after that, switch to Vera again. Now, the rotation tutorial if Lucia is replaced with Watanabe. Start with Vera. Then switch to Kamui and activate ultimate 3 times. Then switch to Vera again. Then switch to Watanabe. Then switch to Kamui again. Now for the Plasma Beam rotation tutorial. Start with Lilith and activate her ultimate. Hold basic attack and then switch to Kamui. Kamui uses hold yellow orb. Here you can ultimate 3 times. Once your Plasma Beam energy is empty, use your red orb. Then tap the yellow orb 5 times to refill your Plasma Beam energy. After that, switch to Lucia. Lucia can use her ultimate 4 times. After that, switch to Lilith, use hold basic attack, and switch back to Kamui. Now, a tutorial on Plasma Beam rotation without Lucia, starting with Lilith ultimate, then hold basic attack. After activating the second ultimate, you'll need to refill the Plasma Beam. After that, switch to Nanami. After Nanami, switch back to Lilith and do the same as before. Now, about the ranks. S5 activates QTE when using Ultimate. SS0 increases output and flare points gained from red orbs. Signature energy increases. Solar Poise base damage increases. SS3, red orb and blue orb base damage increases. Ignited Radiance. Base damage increases. Gains an additional signal orb when Kamui enters battle. SSS 0. All members can store up to 2 charges for QTE. Character switching time reduced by 3 seconds. Ultimate base damage increased. SSS 3, additional bonus damage from Crown Arc and Ignited Radiance. SSS 6, extra bonus damage from red and blue orbs. SSS plus bonus damage increased ultimate. 2-piece set. Attack increases by 5% and fire damage and plasma beam damage increase by 5%. 4-piece set. The effect of flare points on Ignited Radiance's base damage is doubled. 4-weapon. Attack increases by 10%. Base damage of signature. Molten Heart doubles. Casting signature. Molten Heart grants 3 signal orbs. This effect can trigger at most twice each time Aeternion enters the battlefield. Meanwhile, for Cub, you can choose according to your needs. And for memory, if Kamui is together with Lucia and Vera, here Kamui uses 4 Shakespeare, 2 Caudy, and Harmo uses Darwin. For resonance memory, use 6 ultimate and 6 attack. Then Vera as support. Use 4 Da Vinci, 2 Gwyn, and Harmo Caudy. For resonance memory, use 6 class and 6 attack. Then attacker is Lucia. There are no changes. Einsteina can be used if necessary on Lucia. Meanwhile, if Kamui is with Vera and Watanabe, Kamui uses 4 Shakespeare, 2 Feynman, and Harmo Feynman. Vera is his support. 4 Gwyns, 2 Samantha, and 2 Einsteina. You can replace Samantha with 2 Caudys if needed. Then, Watanabe uses 4 Da Vinci and 4 Alphonse. Meanwhile, Hanying's leap skill has been simplified. Use 3 red orbs 3 times, then activate ultimate. It's similar to Hanying's physical skill. Okay, that's probably enough for this video. I hope it was helpful. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. See you later.